This is the first time that Michael Moe's kind of taken that step out and just been like, no, we are working with Tesla. We are working with GM. We are working with Toyota. I got Boeing on this list. I see SpaceX. Leidos is on here. Lockheed Martin, of course, we already know about. Meta, Philips, DeWalt, Black & Decker, Craftsman, Stanley, Milwaukee. KULR's already working with these companies.
Hey everybody, it's Stuart Smith and I'm joined by Kevin Gray, and we are from smallcapvoice.com, and we want to talk to you today about a little bit of news recently out from one of our clients. That's KULR Technology Group, traded on the NYSE under the ticker symbol KULR. The date line of this is August 28th, and simply put, KULR releases new investor presentation. And this is something we wanted to go on video and discuss a little bit because we want the shareholders to know what's inside of this thing. This took a lot of time to create, and I know one of the key people behind the creation of it inside the company worked directly with you, Kevin, on this piece. So let's talk a little bit about what are investors going to find in this presentation that they can get at the KULR website under the presentations tab. That direct link is right there in the press release. Talk to me a little bit about, well, what's in this presentation.
Sure. I think the biggest thing that a lot of people were not expecting is what's on slide 9, but we'll get to that in just one second here. This was a fun project. So we got this the day before this thing went live, and spent the entire day kind of beautifying it and making it what it is today. So that way it was easy to read through. But got to dig through that information for, again, about 19 hours straight, staring at it on my screen. And so I know this thing like the back of my hands. The two big slides for me are on slides 9 and slide 22. I'm going to put slide 9 up right now. That's the customer list. That's what everybody has been asking for the longest time. And I think when you really go through some of these names, these are the names that shareholders were expecting to find in KULR information, but they've never talked about before. And this is the first time that Michael Moe's kind of taken that step out and just been like, no, we are working with Tesla. We are working with GM. We are working with Toyota. I got Boeing on this list. I see SpaceX. Leidos is on here. Lockheed Martin, of course, we already know about. But the big ones for me are inside of that industrial section. We already were speculating about the automakers. I'm not going to brush over Tesla or Toyota or anything like that. But look at industrial: Meta, Philips, DeWalt, Black & Decker, Craftsman, Stanley, Milwaukee. All of those power tool companies. I think that the only one that's there's only a handful of them that are not on there, like Ryobi and things like that. Those companies are still major players in this space, and a lot of people don't realize it, but every single one of them has a lithium-ion battery attached to them. We just don't see those issues as much, but KULR's already working with these companies, so I'm actually really curious to see how deep they're working with them. Meta's a little surprising. I wasn't expecting to see Meta on that list too. It's I don't actually know what they're specifically doing with Meta, but if I remember correctly, about 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm going to have to dig out an older press release here,
Yep.
it might have something to do with virtual reality headsets. And if I remember correctly, they were working with a major company for virtual reality headsets. I'll try to find that information. I'll put it up on the screen next to me here if I am accurate on that one. If not, I'll put a big disclaimer saying that I'm wrong. But either way, those are the two big surprising things. The other big surprising thing, I almost missed it, is on slide 22 here, which is KULR Vibe for computers, servers, and industrial fans. KULR Vibe is the big sleeping dog for KULR, if I can say so. And I'm going to use my words on that one. No one at the company has said that. But I've seen this thing in action. A couple years ago, I went out to Guntersville, Alabama, and we actually got to see KULR Vibe in action. We shot a video to really introduce the world to this technology. A lot of people don't know what track and balancing is for aircraft, but on a helicopter, you have to keep all of the rotors, you have to keep everything really, really aligned and keep that whole aircraft balanced. Otherwise, it's going to cause vibration and flight fatigue. Those two things, very, very detrimental for a flight, very detrimental to the pilot and everybody involved with it as well, and also causes a lot of damage to the aircraft itself. KULR was able to track and balance this Black Hawk, which was not allowed to fly because it was just so out of whack. They were able to track and balance it in about 6 hours. It was scheduled to take about a full week for it to happen, and this technology helped them do it in a matter of hours. That's why this technology is really important, and a lot of people are really sleeping on KULR Vibe. A lot of people don't really understand the value of this technology, but it works in virtually every single thing that spins. If it has a rotor, if it rotates around, if it causes vibration, KULR Vibe, the algorithm, can help pinpoint the balance points to offset it to make sure that it spins a lot easier. You're going to be able to see on the screen here that the KULR Vibe benefit of an air cooling fan, it reduces fan vibrations by 90%. When you're able to reduce something that significantly by vibration, it's going to stay around a lot longer. It's going to stay intact a lot longer. It's going to work a lot more efficiently. I have 6 fans on this computer down here at my feet, and every single day, whenever I'm doing video work or something like that, it's like a jet engine at my feet. If I had KULR Vibe in here, this would be one of the quietest computers in the world and still have the same level of air cooling that I need to keep it moving. Gorgeous technology. I think those are the 2 most important slides, but that's just me, and I kind of just have been staring at this for so long.
Yeah, and I get it. And I also think it's important for shareholders who focus primarily on the stock price to understand how quickly this company has evolved and what they've achieved. We're talking about a company founded in 2015. If you look on the hit, to me, slide 5 is a wonderful slide. Okay, this is a company that doesn't get a lot of sleep, and they are a global company as well. I think it's important to look through what this company has been able to achieve since 2015. Have there been hiccups? Have there been stumbling blocks with the price of the stock? Absolutely. But the company itself, the fundamentals, that's what you need to. Sometimes you do have to put on the accountant hat and get away from the investor hat or the broker hat and really look at fundamentals and look at what this company's been able to achieve in such a short amount of time, and also look at the players they've been able to attract. So to me, slide 5 is really what jumps off. And I know there's a lot of impressive things to go through here, but when you look at the compacted timeline, we're talking less than 10 years in business.
Mhm.
I think a lot of the things they've been able to achieve, kudos to that team. And it is we're not talking about a Fortune 500 company with a massive overhead and burn rate. This is a lean and mean company that's been able to achieve this on their own. So, Kevin, anything else that pleasantly surprised you about this presentation? Anything else that jumps off the page for you?
Sure. I've been pleasantly surprised right now on this call here, because on slide 5 here, I didn't notice this, but we spent, again, about 19 hours putting this together. And this is the first time that I noticed that there's 2 events that are happening there in 2025. I legitimately thought that I don't know why I was thinking that they were 2024 here, but look at that. Battery testing services expanded to include environmental testing. So there's a new revenue stream. Launch of commercialized KULR One Space K1S platform. I've seen K1S. It's really unique. They're starting to kind of create their own batteries for space applications. You've seen who's in their customer list already, so we know that that Voyager's in there. We got SpaceX. We got Michael Moe talking about Blue Origin on a call back then. Blue Origin, they're not on the customer list there, and that might be a little. I'm not entirely sure why they're not on the customer list. So I never got confirmation from the company why they're not there, but they are at the end when we talk about the Webster facility and all the companies that are around there. That's probably another big one that's going to stand out on the page there. Slide 34. The facility, the Center of Excellence in Battery Design and Testing. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but everyone's going to have it on the tip of their tongues in the future here, because NASA, Axiom, Lockheed, Voyager, Blue Origin, Collins Aerospace, Jacobs, and Leidos are now sharing the same area right there in Webster with KULR Technology. And so I really think that this is going to become where everybody's turning to get their batteries done. That's my speculation, of course, but that's probably a big piece of this too. And so I would say that those are the 2 things that really we can look forward to in the future. What's going to happen at Webster here? And then also, it looks like we might have 2 new revenue streams on the horizon here in 2025.
Well, it's a great time for you to take a look at this presentation using that link. Now, you can find this by using the ticker symbol KULR. It's also the company name, KULR Technology Group, traded on the NYSE. Kevin, thanks so much for breaking this down with us today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Always a fun time.
All right, everybody, make sure to hit that comment button below and let us know what you think of this presentation. If you feel like there's something missing, just let us know. And of course, we'd love it if you subscribed and hit like on this video. Thanks for your time today.